For this week's 2Works for You in the Garden segment, Taft Price talks with Paul James, the gardener guy, about summer bulbs.
Good morning, welcome back to In the Garden. And you know what, Paul, whenever we go into the fall, we start planting those bulbs because in spring, after such a gray winter, we want to see a lot of color. But today you're going to talk about planting bulbs now for the summer.
I am?
I think you were.
Oh yeah, that's
okay.
Our topic today.
Okay.
Yeah, there are a lot of great bulbs that you plant in summer. They'll come up very quickly and you'll get months of beautiful color and texture and foliage and all that kind of stuff. I'm going to start out with the ugliest of the bunch.
Ah, lovely.
Isn't that nasty looking?
Yeah, it looks pretty disgusting.
That's a canna.
Okay.
Okay, native to tropical areas of the United States, South Florida, all the way down into South America. It comes from the Latin meaning cane, and these are so easy to grow. Plant that about 3, maybe 4 inches deep. It's going to send up, and they come in different colors, different sizes. There's some pretty tall ones, but really sturdy canes, and you can actually overwinter these in this area. A nice heavy mulch helps, but they'll come back year after year. I mean, 9 out of 10 winters they'll survive.
Plenty of sunshine with these?
All the sunshine you can give them.
Okay.
But look at all the different colors, the yellows,
Yeah.
the oranges, the reds. There's just so many beautiful colors. And if you vary the height in a bed, you can get a really cool look.
Nice depth with it as well.
All right, we're going that way. We've got to
right,
look at
let's
something
go.
else. Okay, Taft, here we've got a bag of caladiums.
Oh,
You like caladiums?
I love caladiums.
I
yes.
love caladiums. My wife loves caladiums. Now they're ugly too.
Yeah.
In this stage, these you need to plant about 1.5 inches deep in the really most improved soil you've got. They really like compost, shredded leaves, stuff like that are great, but it needs to be well drained because they will rot if they have wet feet for any prolonged period of time. Also, don't plant too early. Typically around here, Mother's Day is kind of a classic time frame, but that's when those go in the ground. And you can also buy them as plants, fully grown plants. Will you hold those?
Yeah, sure will.
Do you have a question about those?
Well, the one thing I love about caladiums is just what we're seeing here, the different varieties of caladiums. There are like a couple dozen, at least right here.
Yeah, so many big heart-shaped leaves, small ones. Now, typically for years and years, these have been grown in the shade.
Okay.
But there are some new varieties that are much more sun tolerant.
Okay.
And we have those. So look around, you can ask around which ones are sun tolerant, which ones require shade.
Okay.
Now here's a relative. The elephant ear, which we talked about last week, and 2 different kinds of bulbs here. These related to the caladiums, but different in the sense that they can tolerate standing water.
Okay.
You can grow them at the edge of a pond, or you can just set them out in the yard anywhere. But, you know, we're talking 6 foot in some cases. Is that right? What are you?
It's somewhere around there. I think I'm getting shorter, so.
And big 3-foot leaves, and they're just really cool, you know, as an accent. Even in mass, if you have a bunch of them, it's really a dramatic effect in the landscape.
You know, just as attractive in bulb form as the caladiums are.
Absolutely. You know, these about 4 to 6 inches deep.
Okay.
I have actually gotten these to overwinter a few times, but I don't recommend. Don't depend on it, okay? Because they're not that hardy.
Okay.
And these will not survive. They're treated as annuals around here.
All right, so obviously we're talking about most of these being planted in the shade, but also these new sun varieties. So really wherever we're at in the yard, wherever we need a spot, probably a caladium or an elephant ear is going to be able to do it.
Or in containers. They're great in containers.
Yeah.
I got a few more to show you. Let's
Okay,
sneak over
really.
this way. Okay, so we barely scratched the surface, but those are some of the most popular ones that people grow. Less known are some beautiful gladiolas, the dahlias, which people go nuts over in the Pacific Northwest, but you can actually grow them here. Zephyranthes, the Asiatic lilies, daylilies, agapanthus. There's so many of these things that you can grow and get them in the ground, and in no time at all, enjoy the flowers.
Yeah, look very tropical, a lot of color out there. And the good thing about these bulbs as opposed to the ones in the fall, we plant them in the ground, we have to wait 4 or 5 months through the winter. Finally, we see some color. These, we can throw them in the ground in just a few weeks. We're going to start seeing some color.
Fairly instant gratification, and that's what's so wonderful about them. So I encourage people to get out there and, you know, just find a little spot here and there, or again, in containers, and enjoy these wonderful summer bulbs.
Yeah, beautiful indeed. Thank you, Paul, as always. I'm going to go plant some.
Good for you.
I'll wait 2 weeks and then I'll come back and see how I'm doing.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you, sir.